Hey, welcome. Welcome to this 20-minute Why They Buy webinar where we're going to introduce you to B.A.N.K.T. B.A.N.K.T is an amazing system that helps you connect with people. It helps you increase your sales. It helps you enhance your relationships. It helps you enhance your communication. It is a phenomenal tool, and we're really excited that you're here sharing this time with us. Now, some of you have already heard about B.A.N.K.T, right? And you've come here because you want to check us out. You come here because Dawn invited you and you'll do anything Dawn says. I get that. So this is what we're going to talk about today. We're going to sort of fill you in on the basics of B.A.N.K.T and what it can do for you. So here we go. So if you're on this call, it means you've probably already cracked your code, right? You've probably already gone to a website, you've been given a link, so you know what your codes are. But on the off chance that you haven't done that yet, you can see on the screen, you got two options. If I invited you to this call, you want to go to mybankcode.com/Bobatoon. You want to go there, take the quick little survey, and you will be able to crack your code. And if you were invited by Don Shuler, then you want to go to mybankcode.com/Shuler, and you'll be able to get your code there. So a little bit about, let's see, who we're going to talk about. A little bit about Dawn. Dawn is an amazing person. First of all, we know that she is CEO and founder of her business, the Shuler Group, and she is also a very successful business owner, has been such for over 15 years. The deeper why of what Dawn does and what she likes to present is she loves to help people thrive, not just individuals, but she loves to help corporations do better, communicate better, have better sales. That is what she lives for. And Dawn is also, she's an author, she's a speaker, she's a certified trainer with B.A.N.K.T and a certified trainer on her own, and she is a consultant. And as I've said, Dawn uses B.A.N.K.T as one of the tools in her toolbox. And so a little bit about me. I am the founder and CEO of my own company. It is Star Consulting, LLC. I was trained as a motivational speaker by Les Brown, and my why, or the thing that I love to do, is I love helping people use their stories to increase their impact. I am an attorney. I'm an award-winning speaker. I'm a trainer. I'm a mother of two of the most beautiful children in the history of children. All right, so you know about that. And again, B.A.N.K.T is also a tool that I use in my tool belt as well, and it's one of the most powerful tools, right? So we have invited the CEO and the founder of this company, B.A.N.K.T, and she is amazing. This woman, CHERI, who is the founder of B.A.N.K.T, she has shared the stage with Tony Robbins, with Les Brown, with Robert Kiyosaki, and with Richard Branson. And she is going to be here on November 30th. Listen, if you can make it here to the Baltimore, D.C. area on November 30th, you're gonna want to come, even if you need to pack up, get on a plane to come here, because what CHERI will share with you can be life altering. It can be mind blowing. So you want to come on out here and do that on November 30th, but we'll talk a little bit more about that later on. All right, let's see, what else have we got? So, let me go here. Let's see. That is our MidAtlantic team. Look at us, aren't we cute? And the thing about B.A.N.K.T and our illustrious leader, Stephanie, she has brought together a group of people. We are trainers, we are affiliates, because a lot of times when you join a program and you get something new, you're out there all by yourself and you've got no one to rely on. We have such an incredible community, and actually it is bigger even than the picture that you see there, and we help each other with B.A.N.K.T. We support each other, like we're doing this webinar today. There's lots of things that we do to support and help each other grow. So that's part of being our team. And if, you know, if it comes to that and you think you want to be a part of our team, my goodness, we will definitely welcome you and love to have you. Let's see. All right, so let's talk about sales. And I've got some news for you, and you might be a little uncomfortable with this, but let me tell you what it is. If you are in business, you are in sales. And I know what you're saying, Star, I'm not in sales. I'm a Reiki healer. No, I work with energy. No, Star, I'm not in sales. See, I am a coach. No. Let me break it down to you. If you are in business, you are in sales, because if you're not in sales, baby, you're not in business. And it's not just about business. Sales is a part of everything that you do, everything that we do. If you need to get your 5-year-old to go to bed on time, that is a sales conversation. If you're trying to get your client, your coaching client, to do the things you tell them to do to help them, that's a sales conversation. Listen, are you trying to get your husband to go for Chinese food instead of Italian food? That, my friends, is a sales conversation. Sales is a part of everything that we do. But when it comes to business specifically, we've all heard the saying, right? The saying, which is, in order to get more yeses, you've got to get more what? What's that? More no's. That's right. We've heard it 100 times before. And I just want to tell you that that's ridiculous. Now, I've done it. I've done it where I've said, okay, let me do the 15 calls and maybe I'll get one yes out of it. I've done it. But what would it be like? What would it be like if, in order to get more yeses, you get more yeses? What about that? Wouldn't that be more helpful? Absolutely. And that's what B.A.N.K.T allows you to do. It allows you to get more yeses. And that's why we love it. So, you know, we've been playing this numbers game. We've been playing the numbers game, and the secret is sales is not a numbers game, my friend. The secret is that sales is a people game. It's a people game. It's all about connecting with individuals. And that may have been the secret that we've been missing. So I talked a little bit about about CHERI, the founder and the CEO of the B.A.N.K.T. Einstein says that any fool can complicate things. It takes a true genius to simplify things, and that is what CHERI has done. She has simplified these things, and she wrote this book, Why They Buy. Now, she unlocks the secret to sales in many different ways, in the sales, communication, and relationships. But she asks a very important question. The question that CHERI asks, that most people don't ask, is not how to be a good salesperson. No, she asks the question and answers the questions why they buy. And you see, she's taking the sales not from our perspective, the salesperson's perspective. No, she's looking at sales from the perspective of the buyer, of those people that are out here who need our goods. It's a remarkable, you know, it's like, it's a remarkable way of thinking about it. But when you think about it, doesn't that make sense? Yeah, it absolutely makes sense that you'd be thinking or coming from the perspective of why people buy, what they need, what's important to them. And so that is what she came up with when she created B.A.N.K.T. Now, B.A.N.K.T is personality-based, it is people-focused, and it is profit-driven. That is what it's all about. So, as I said, Einstein says any fool can complicate things, takes a genius to simplify them, and in our circle, CHERI is that genius, and has basically taken her experience, she's taking her research, she's done the work behind it to create, actually to discover and I guess illustrate the science behind B.A.N.K.T, and she's done an amazing job. And I'm not saying that she made all this stuff up. No, she didn't just create it out of thin air. This is based on the work by Hippocrates, right? Because he's incorporated the theory of the 4 temperaments. And where he was coming from is he divided his patients into 4 different types of people, and he would attend to them. He would treat them based on who they were rather than based on his ideas. Imagine that, treating your patients based on who they are. It's a novel idea, and the same thing comes with sales and what Cherry Tree is having us do with sales. We are doing sales not based on who we are, but based on who our audience is, who our prospect is. Now, raise your hand if you've taken a personality test. Okay, I can see your hands all up in the air. We all have. We've taken personality tests, and there's all types. You see them there. You've got your DISC, you've got your Myers-Briggs, you've got your color codes, you've got gems, you've got diamonds, you've got animals. Okay, they are aplenty. But let me ask you this question. Any of those personality tests that you have any of them helped you turn no's into yeses? What's that now? Not one of them. I know. But here's the difference about B.A.N.K.T. B.A.N.K.T will help you turn no's into yeses. This is a different sort of thing. This is like next level stuff. B.A.N.K.T is. And the problem is, what's been missing is the understanding that people are different. I know you've run into some of these people who are definitely very different than we are. And the missing link has been to understand how people are different, where they're different, but wait, to understand what motivates them, to understand what their values are so that you can make a presentation based on their values. That's what's been missing. And Cherry Tree has found that missing link. She's broken it down and made it easy peasy for us to understand. All right, so just for your information, you got 4 different personality types, right? You are one personality type out of 4, right? So you are 25%. And studies show that if you are the same personality type as the person that you're talking to, you can close sales 82% of the time. That is nice. That is nice. You're talking to a personality that is just like you. 82% of the time, you're going to have success. But here's the deal. You start talking to people who are not your personality style, the same personality, and you're only going to close 18% of the buyers. Take a look at the quote here. Only 18% of buyers will buy from a salesperson who doesn't match the buyer's personality type versus 82% success when personality types are aligned. Doesn't it make sense to get your personality types aligned? Absolutely. And I'm not talking about changing your personality type. What I'm talking about is having an understanding of where that other person is coming from and what's important to them. That's what this is all about. And it's a very common mistake that we all make. And that's why they say that sales is a numbers game, because, okay, you are 1/4 of the pie, 1/4 of the personalities of the people on the earth, right? 1 out of 4. So that means if you are talking to 4 people about your business, only one of them is going to be the same personality with you. So you're only going to close probably 1. You get to close 25% of the people you talk about. All right, that's not so bad. That's not so bad. But what would it be like if you could actually close 50%, 75%? What would that be like? Ooh, what would it be like if you could close 100%? Because you knew the personality types, because you could adjust your presentation for each personality type. Without making that adjustment, that means 25% of the time you are making the right presentation. And guess what? 75% of the time, you are giving the wrong presentation to the wrong person. Wouldn't you like to change that a little bit? I bet that you would. So let's get into the science of this a little bit more. We're moving on. The system. We talked about the science. Let's talk about the system. You got 4 codes, right? You got blueprint, action, nurture, and knowledge. Blueprint, action, nurture, and knowledge. Blueprint. Blueprint values stability, structure, systems. They like processes, predictability. Blueprint, you know what? The same way that we did it last week and the same way we did it 2 years ago, that's the same way we're going to do it today and the same way we're going to do it tomorrow. Do you know why? Because it's predictable, because it's a process that works and I'm not messing with it, because those are the rules and we stay within the rules. Blueprint, they're all about being inside the box. You follow the rules. Right? You follow the process. We know what's going to happen next. They love that. So that is your blueprint. And if you're selling to a blueprint, if you're having a conversation with a blueprint, you're trying to develop a relationship with the blueprint, you need to know that these are the things that are important to them. Let's go to the next one, which is your A, your action type. And as I said, if blueprint is all about being in the box, the action types are all about, I'm sorry, there was a box. I didn't even know that was a box, because the action, they are absolutely 100% outside of the box. Here's what the actions like. The action types like freedom, flexibility, spontaneity. I'm sorry, do the same thing today that we did yesterday. I'm sorry, do it this week the same way we did 2 years ago. Are you crazy? Why would we ever do that? The action types, they want stimulation. They want it new and different and exciting all the time. That is what appeals to the action type. The next type that we have is called the nurturing type. Everyone just take a deep breath in and blow it out. And let's just take some time to develop relationships. See, the nurturing type, it's all about the things that are important to the nurturing type. It is the relationships. You know, how are we relating? Authenticity. Am I able to be real? And do I feel that you are being authentic with me? Right? For the nurturers, it's all about how can I make myself better? How can I grow? How can I elaborate who I am? How can I do better? And it's not just about me when I'm a nurturer. It's also about how can I make an impact? How can I make an impact, a positive impact in the lives of others? Because nurturers want significance. That's very important. And teamwork, we've got to get along. We've got to work together. So if you are having a relationship conversation, a communication, you're having a sales conversation with a nurturer, you're going to know that's what you need to focus on. Because if you don't focus on that, you're going to miss out, right? They're going to leave. They're going to not connect with you. So if, let's see, blueprint is inside the box, action is outside the box, nurture, these are the ones that want to, decorate and recycle the box and give it to you as a gift, maybe. So let's look at the K's, the knowledge. This is our fourth group. And so the knowledge, it's like it's in the name, right? What do they value? They value, knowledge. They value learning, intelligence, logic. I'm telling you, it has to make sense. They run it through that mental computer, and if it makes sense, we're all good. If it doesn't make sense, that's it. You're lost. Go no further, right? And the knowledge types are very intelligent because they value that. They value self-mastery. If they're going to learn something, they're not going to learn it a little bit. They're going to jump all the way in and learn everything that they need to know. The knowledge types, those are the ones who are reading the instruction manuals. They're probably also the ones writing the instruction manuals because that's the kind of things that are important to them. And so you've got to know that. You've got to know that they're going to want the information. Do not think that you can sort of go off the top of your head, sort of BS a knowledge type, because they're not going to go for it. They hate the hype, whereas the action person, yeah, give me the hype, you see? And it's important, of course, to know the difference between these. And if you know the difference between these, then it's going to help your communication. It's going to help your relationships. It's going to help your sales. And that's what we're here for, about helping those sales. And so you want to know the code of the people that you're working for. Now, we've all had this experience, right? Where you are ready to buy. You know that this is exactly what you want, right? All the things make sense. But the salesperson is not, you're not getting that connection, right? You're just not feeling it. And while you think you want the product, you're not going to buy. Why? Because that salesperson is not speaking your language. That salesperson is not appealing to your personality type. We've all experienced that. And then you leave that person and you go buy the exact same product from someone else because they're speaking your language. So if this happens to you, how often do you think this is happening to your clients? Clients that, and you know this, you know they need exactly what you have to offer, and yet they're not buying. You know that you can help them go to the next level. You know it's what's right for them. And yet you can't close that sale. Why? Because you're not speaking their language. You're not speaking their personality language. And so you're losing a lot of sales. You're having a lot of miscommunications. You're not having the relationships that you want to have. Well, Bank Code gives you a way to figure that out and to do better. So you want to know what your code is, right? And that's an important thing, to know your own code. So make sure that you go to those links and you get your code. So here's what I know. I'm an action type. I go around the country and I do trainings and that sort of thing. Every now and then, HR and legal trainings. And every now and then a client will say, hey, Star, we need some structure and some systems. Can you help us out? And I do. The last time I did that was with one of my very good clients. And I ended up entering 18-month, $300,000 contract to help them put in systems and processes, basically to help them with their blueprint. I am an action type, but they needed blueprint work. And we all have all four. So I have all four. I can do the blueprint. But after 18 months of just doing blueprint work, I was miserable. Now, this is before I understood bank, before I got involved in bank. But when I look back, I can say, well, that was the problem. See, this is why it's important for you to know what your code is. Your first code and your last code, the most important. My first code is action. I think I've mentioned that. My last code is blueprint. Why would I spend 18 months in a job doing blueprint work? That makes no sense. See, you understanding your code helps you make decisions in your life. And of course, you've got to understand your prospects' codes as well. And you're asking me, okay, Star, well, how do I figure that out? How do I know what their codes are? Bank has ways of cracking people's codes. You can do it in 90 seconds or less. You can do it with the bank cards. We've got value cards that you can carry in your purse. We've got the online program that you can do. You know what? If you study bank, if you get involved, you'll be able to identify people's codes by having conversations, by knowing exactly what to ask. There are a lot of ways for you to understand, figure out people's codes, and use it to the advantage of both people. Remember, it's not only about you trying to sell, it's about what the client wants and what they need to hear and making it possible for them. All right, so let's see where we are now. The solution, of course, is the bank. And as I said to you before, this was created by CHERI. CHERI is she is the founder, the CEO, and an author. She's got a 20-year track record of using this system in order to propel her to a multi-million-dollar, and I think she's getting real close to $1 billion, multi-million-dollar company. Come on now. Bank Code is being used in over 40 countries. She's got over 150 licensed trainees. And it is the #1 personality-based sales training in the country, in the world. It is some serious stuff. And so this is not, some shot in the dark. You know what I'm saying? CHERI has spent some time developing this. She started out in financial services because, she needed a job. So she just jumped in there. No experience. She just jumped in and tried to make it work. And, first year as a financial analyst, she made $700. Woohoo! $700. Very nice. Second year, she did some studying. She made $72,000. Okay, she's doing okay, but she's not making the kind of money that she wants to make. That is when she decided to step back and do some research and figure this thing out. She came up with Bank. And within the next 3 years, she went from $500,000 to over $1 million. The system, the process works. All right, give me a minute. And so the system works, and we know that. And she's coming here. Now, this is a woman who speaks on stages, as I've said, with Les Brown, with Tony Robbins, and because of our team, and how well we're doing, she's actually going to come here to the Baltimore, Virginia, DC area on November 30th. And you really want to come check that out. I'm telling you, if you need to get on a plane, then you need to do that because it's truly going to be a phenomenal event. Now, that's going to bring us to the end of our presentation. I hope that you got some value out of it, but you've got to know we're just scratching the surface. We are just scratching the surface. There is so much more for you to know and learn. Okay, and so I almost forgot. Not only are you going to get value from CHERI Tree, but 3 of our team members are also presenting in the afternoon sessions. Thank you, Dawn. So we've got Stephanie Bonte-Lebert. She's going to be talking about why they listen. Why are your prospects listening? Why will they listen to what you have to say? Jory Fisher, she is going to be talking about why they buy. We got them listening, but we need to get them to the next step. You know what I'm saying? Because we want them to buy. Jory Fisher is going to be talking about that. And then you got them to listen, you got them to buy, but you know your best customers are the customers that you already have, the ones that you get to keep. And so Don Shuler is going to be talking to you about why they stay. This is going to be a very full, very content-heavy session, so you want to make sure that you get there. And as you can see, because you're on this webinar, we've got a discount for you. Woo-hoo, a savings. And you can get $50 off of your ticket. Use the code TRAINBANK and you'll be able to get that. You'll be able to get $50 off your ticket. Now, so here are the links. If you want to get $50 off your ticket, and you need to do this right away, you want to go to the first site, bit.ly/Dawn Shuler. If Dawn is the one that invited you here, you're going to go to bit.ly/Star Bobatoon if Star Bobatoon is the one that invited you here. All right. So what else is that? All right. So that sort of wraps us up. I hope that you got some good value, and also, you know, we gave you some value. We did it very quickly. You might have more questions. Make sure that you get back to the person who invited you to that. Come back to me or come back to Dawn. Ask us any questions that you want. This is truly an amazing opportunity, and we want to make sure that you get everything that you need. Are we good, Dawn?
Can you end the presentation so that our big screen come up? I have a message.
Say that again.
Can you end the presentation?
I don't know. Stop slide presentation. There you go. So what is it you need? What?
I just wanted to say thank you. Maybe you can relay this. I just want to say thank you for bearing with us for our technical difficulties. You did a fabulous job. I didn't know you were in the deep end, but you did a great job. And thank you, everyone, for being here today.
Yes. Dawn says thank you for being here. Thanks for putting up with us. Thanks for listening through. And please, you know, go ahead and take that next step. We so look forward to hearing from you. Good night. And so now what do I do?